Now we're joined by Linda, who will share her story. Linda, whenever you're ready.
Thank you. I had an abortion in 1972. I was a college student. I think I was 20 years old. It was the summertime. I was in Vermont, and abortion was I found myself pregnant unexpectedly. Abortion was legal in New York. It was not legal across the country, but some states had already legalized abortion. So I was lucky that I was only 4 hours away from a safe and legal abortion. Friends came to visit me, and I said, I need you to take me to New York. And they turned around, and we headed back there. It was in a private abortion clinic. My abortion was safe. It was legal. My right to privacy was upheld. It was dignified. There were no picketers outside. There were no obstacles in my way. Of course, it wasn't a pleasant medical procedure, but I felt very clear that I was making the right decision. And I went on to have a happy, well-adjusted life, unlike the propaganda of anti-choice people. There was no lasting psychological damage. There were no medical issues that followed me around. I was a healthy and happy person. In hindsight, when I look to see how relatively simple this was, I was incredibly lucky. Abortion had only been legal for a few years. And I remember when I was around 13, a friend came to me devastated because her cousin had had an illegal abortion and died. And a few years earlier, that could have been me, and I didn't suffer that fate. And now, when I see what women go through today, how abortion clinics are closing right and left, the picketers, the violence, the hurdles that women have to go through to get a safe and legal abortion, it's really quite appalling. So I kind of threaded the needle and was in the right place at the right time. And, but I also know that it doesn't have to be the way that it is today. Right. I felt no shame. I felt no stigma. I was very clear that I was making the right decision for me. My religious beliefs were not being attacked. And that's how it needs to be again for everyone.
Awesome. That was so powerful. Thank you, Linda. So what connections do you see between yourself and the Jane Doe cases?
Well, I see a huge chasm of privilege that I had and that these women don't have on every single level of their existence. You know, they have no rights. They have they have no rights and everything. They're not even supposed to be in this country according to the federal government. And they certainly don't have any economic independence. And they have no right to control their own destiny or self-determination or to make their own decisions in any way, shape, or form. So the contrast is rather stark.
And why are you sharing your story today?
Because I think it's really important that women not be shamed and women not experience stigma over abortion. It's their own decision to make, and it's nobody else's choice, and nobody else should have any say over it. And it should just be a safe, legal medical procedure. And I want women to know that it doesn't have to be traumatic, and it's not going to have any negative, lasting effect. So that's why I'm telling my story.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you for telling your story.